Welcome to Little Talks, your weekly dose of marketing news, trends, and insights from Littlefield Agency. Grab your coffee, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
So we just did a quick take and then realized our camera wasn't on. Now our camera is on, right, Claude? Mm-hmm. Are we? You look confused.
Yeah, it's on.
Okay, we're recording. Anyway, so now we've had to listen to Chelsea Clement twice in our ears, and it is at an escalated volume.
That one goes to 11.
That went to an 11, and I don't know if that's a good thing. And usually I'm an 11 kind of guy.
It's a wake you up kind of deal.
It's a wake you up kind of deal. Anyway, with that, welcome back to another edition of Little Talks with Littlefield Agency. It has felt forever that we have been on this desk, in this room. I'm Sam Littlefield. With me is
Root,
my partner. It's been 3 weeks.
So we haven't been in here in 3 weeks. We've recorded and released episodes that kind of padded some of that time. Last week we didn't record because people were everywhere, but we had a group.
Last week was insane. In the best way of insane.
We had a group with the equipment at the Equipment Expo.
Utility Expo. Equipment Expo is coming up in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
Grasshopper.
There's a lot going on there. So we had a group out recording Beyond the Moon for Ditch Witch there.
That was Utility Expo.
Yeah.
Claude,
so.
How was your first Utility Expo?
It was awesome.
It was rainy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did. It was a little crummy, but I felt really awesome after we completed everything.
Once you got through that,
yeah.
Your first day, I saw videos. It was
literally
monsooning.
Got canceled, and I was talking with Scott Peavy, and he said he's never in his, I don't know how many years he's gone, and even Shan said they've never seen it get canceled.
Word on the street is it's the first year ever that they actually had to stop the show, because of course they've dealt with elements from Mother Nature.
Of rain before, but
all the equipment went, and then they got it all set up.
Yeah,
our equipment, and then it rained, and they had to kind of just shut it down.
But Wednesday looked beautiful, though.
It was.
Yeah, it looked really pretty.
And then we flew out. We recorded that morning, and
man, you guys were in and out quick.
We were.
And then
got 3 episodes.
They're over in Kentucky. We had a huge team over in Pennsylvania, which, by the way, timing of Pennsylvania, I'm hoping I've channeled fall weather back to the good old Midwest. Red, yellow, orange.
Oh, the leaves are changing.
Oh, my gosh, it was so pretty. We flew into Philadelphia. It's just over a 2-hour drive to where our client is. And it was just stunning, man. I mean, just a whole different part of the country. And here's the deal. It was an amazing trip. Clopay team. Wow. The hospitality, the thoughtfulness, the agenda items on the meeting. I mean, it was 1.5 full days of serious brain power as we planned for 2026, brought them some proactive ideas and thinking. It was just a heck. And also I think we've done a really good job over the last few years in identifying clients that we work well with, they work well with us. We both value each other. Mm-hmm. And they're awesome humans, man. They're good people, and it just makes that trip that much better, which was already a great trip. So Clopay team, thank you so much for the wonderful hospitality. And speaking of wonderful hospitality, we have a birthday today. Courtney Roberts, it is your birthday today, October 14th. Let's hear it for her.
Happy birthday!
Hey, good job. And you don't have to play it again, but we've got Julie Evans' birthday is tomorrow. So we got my birthday was on Friday. Roberts is today. Julie Evans tomorrow. It's just a string of...
It's July and October are the big birthdays.
July and October are big birthday months here at Littlefield. Yeah. And we've got, to celebrate tomorrow, we are going to corporate night at Oktoberfest, which will be fantastic.
Have we ever gone?
Not in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to.
Sarah said one year the entire tent fell down on her.
Oh, on Sarah? Of course it did.
Oktoberfest can get rowdy.
In 2007.
Well, for those... Wow, that was a long time. Oh, my goodness. For those that are listening, Oktoberfest in Tulsa, Oklahoma, is it number 1, number 2 in the world?
I think it's number 2 in the world.
Yeah, number 1 obviously being over in... Okay, number 1 in the United States. It is a big deal.
Yeah.
And we're really excited. So it's a great couple of weeks here. And Roop, we got a good... I feel refreshed. Sometimes time away from the mic. It's just I always love time with the mic, but
that's why I was going to point out. It's not so much that we're only rusty from having been gone for 3 weeks.
I don't even feel rusty.
Claudia had set all the equipment up from shipping it back from Kentucky yesterday and today. So the only thing that didn't work was the one camera, which always has problems. That's why we restarted. Had to listen to Chelsea twice.
That is pretty good, and thank you for doing that because that's most of your afternoon yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
It's a lot of stuff.
I know it's fun watching.
Brandon for it.
Yeah, Brandon.
It's a lot of stuff.
We talked about it. Brandon's very methodical, very patient. There's no way I would have been able to set this up or take this down.
He's not going to be happy with how we left some of the bags and cords.
But
but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Gets his blood going. Yeah. That's great. Okay, we have a great topic today. Claude, let's hit it. Roop is calling this the true value of partnering with an independent marketing agency. And here's the thing. We're talking about ourselves today.
Yeah,
I think that's okay to do from time to time, because our job is your marketing partner for our current clients that are listening, for our prospective clients that are tuning in that have never worked with us. You see the thoughts and the thinking that we bring to the table, but it's also good for you to know who we are as an agency and why certain clients really do value us.
Listen, man, we got to do our own content marketing too.
Yeah,
so
we do. I mean, how many hours a week do you guys spend on our content?
On our
marketing?
content, it's like
a couple of hours.
Oh, more than that.
That was a joke.
Good Lord.
I know.
It's easily 10 to 15 hours.
I was gonna say about 10% of your week. Yeah. But I was just on this magnet call. People applaud our agency. They're like, oh, yep, just trying to get up to the Littlefield standard.
Oh, wow.
We have set a standard within agency world, at least within my independently owned marketing agency buddies from across the nation. This guy was over in Denmark, man. Gave us some props, which is really cool. So here's the first thing. And there are agencies that are owned by holding companies. Mm-hmm. There are agencies that have private equity injections. There's nothing wrong with that. We are in no way saying that those agencies suck.
Yes.
But we're going to tell you just how we work as an independently owned 25-person marketing agency. And here's the first thing. What we take, the Clopay team loves this, and I think Grasshopper loves this, Ditch Witch loves this, is when you start working with our team, and there's no knock on junior level employees, they are a very important part of our organization, but you get senior level thinking 24/7 every day.
Yeah.
Someone said this back in my global agency days. Oh, you always have the A team. It's like, well, there's 2,000 employees.
That's a lot of A-team.
And I'm sure there's some great people there, but it's like, that's a lot of A team. No, you get the A team here. And here's the other thing. Our average tenure here at the agency is 10 years.
Yeah, I guess that would be right.
Think about that.
Sarah's remembering a Oktoberfest from 20 years ago.
From 2007, right? So Sarah's been here for 17 years.
Yeah.
Mike Rocco has just celebrated his 20th year here.
Yeah.
Courtney Roberts just celebrated her 14th year.
Yeah.
Katie Kite just celebrated her 15th year. I'm doing this from memory, by the way. You're a teenager now.
Heading on to 14.
Yeah, you're heading on to 14 years. Chris Kaiser just celebrated his 7th year early last week. I've been here for 9. Technically, I've been here for 34 years. But that did not skew my average tenure, okay? I've been part of this place for 34 years. But then you have wonderful people like Claude. Claude, you on almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm so excited.
There's fresh thinking. Becca started here in January. We needed a new project manager. Becca brings that new experience, that new perspective, which is great. And then you have a myriad of employees between the 5 and 12-year mark. Chelsea Clement, she's going for the big decade anniversary next year.
Oh, wow. Really?
10 years of Chelsea Clement.
We'll have her on for that.
We absolutely should. That'll be in May of next year. So, again, right, you get people so senior level employees, super important. Junior level employees, very important part of the equation. But people that have been around this agency, that know our internal processes, and most importantly, that know our clients' business, is a really, really important asset. And a value prop for us as an agency. So as you are evaluating this is really for our prospective clients, as you're evaluating agencies, right? I think taking that into consideration is a very important part of your decision-making process on who you're going to work with going forward. Ruth, thoughts?
No, dead accurate. And, when this concept first hit me a while back, it was, pre-pandemic, someone had mentioned this, and I was like, I never really thought about it. We just kind of operate that way. We don't actually sit down and go, well, let's get the A team together and go do this. It's always whoever's right for the project, and they're always going to be generally seasoned, talented people.
Yes,
or at a minimum, talented people who are becoming seasoned. So I kind of like that.
And here's the interesting thing. When we come up, and I'm going to be blatantly honest, we have lost pitches before because, you're a smaller agency. 25 people is considered smaller agency. It's considered, some people call it boutique. I don't love that word. I go with we're independently owned and operated. But there's some short-sightedness to that thinking. We lost a pitch recently. They went with a bigger agency out of Chicago. Good for them. And by the way, I know the agency. They're a great agency. But I told the guy, I was like, hey, you're going with, and this company was private equity backed. Our stakeholders within the PE firm feel better that, quote unquote, they have more resources. That is BS.
Oh, we have a ton of resources.
Well, we have a ton of resources, but here's the thing. Let's say, so we're a 25-person shop. I know for a fact that this shop, this agency that they went with is 50 people. Mm-hmm. They don't get double the amount of thinking. When I worked at my global agency days, when you've worked at big-time agencies, there are dedicated teams to dedicated client business. Mm-hmm. So we had Mazda was a client of back in the day at my global agency, not at Littlefield. And guess what? They had 10 people on the team. There weren't 175 people. There weren't 2,000 people. There were 10 dedicated individuals to that team.
That's one of those perceptions is not reality deals.
Exactly.
You have a perception that
yes.
if you're operating, the bigger the business, really in anything, but the bigger the business, the bigger the agency is, the more attention and people will be dedicated to it. And that's not accurate, and also just not necessary. Like,
yes,
you don't need 1,000 people on your account.
And
you need the right people on your account.
Sure, if you're working on the Walmart account and it's a $100 million media account, I bet there's 25 to 30 people on that team, right? Like we wouldn't be able to take on that business.
I used to work there.
Yeah. Walk us through it.
Yeah. So they have a lot of in-house stuff they do.
Great.
And they do look for people that have the outside thinking.
Of course. Agencies.
And they pull different ones in for different needs, right? So if you need someone to do TV spots, you're trying to hit a specific part of like to target to Utah. Utah was always a thing because you couldn't run caffeine stuff there. You'd always have to kind of accommodate the Mormon landscape. But like they would kind of look, as agencies and people who were specializing in do these different pockets. But yeah, it wasn't one agency that did all these things because they're pretty big and they have a lot of different needs and they're pretty siloed within their organization. So I think they were actually pretty smart about looking at what they need to pull in and when. But they had the same concept. The bigger the agency, the better this is going to be. Yeah. And it was not my experience while I was there.
And when I talked to this prospect on that note, I was like, hey, just so you know, and we got second place in the pitch. Sometimes it happens. It sucks. Mm-hmm. It's the worst feeling in the world. And he was ready to go with this Chicago agency. But I told him, I was like, hey, just to be transparent, I almost told him it was a cop-out. I was like, what's the real? And he had a better connection with that agency. That's awesome. That's fair. That is 100%. We connect better with some people than we do others. But because I told him, I was like, hey, them being double the size of us, 7 people there are going to work on your account. 7 people here are going to work on your account. Maybe it's up to 11 in certain circumstances. So something to think of. The second point is personalized partnerships and relationships. This is huge. When you have the same group of people, right? The Ditch Witch team, the Grasshopper team, they've been working with, for the most part, the same people. Maybe a project manager switch from time to time, but these strategic thinking personnel on their accounts are the same people from 10 years ago, from 25 years ago, just with a matter of shifting a few individuals.
Yeah.
There's so many wonderful synergies with that, right? At the end of the day, no matter what AI does, humans are doing business with humans. And we like working with our clients. I enjoyed being in Pennsylvania last week and breaking bread with Clopay.
Yeah.
And spending time with them with significant brain power on driving their business. I enjoy going up to Moundridge. I enjoy texting Trent. I like golfing with Sean Hubbard, right? Like there are so many people, there's so many facets, and it's not just Sam Littlefield, right? You're with the client. You were in Louisville last week and you had a great time with Ditch Witch. I mean, it's hanging out together and liking each other as humans is huge. Now with that, right, comes the talents that we bring. Having an understanding, this is really, really interesting. There are a lot of companies, agencies out there that really don't understand what their clients actually do for business. Talk to us about product line. Talk to us about what is the end benefit of using a client product and doing X, Y, Z, and what is that end result? What does that do to them? How do we drive their business? I think that's a huge thing. There's our agency, the global agency I used to work with, which by the way, hell of a time. I was 23 to 25 years old.
I've heard some stories.
It was amazing, man. It was like, but Claude, you're so young. Like it was just the best time. But I remember one designer was like, "Oh yeah, we can make your website look really pretty." Well, we can too. But is your website driving conversions and helping impact your bottom line and top line revenue?
And how's it doing for SEO, and AI SEO, and
yes. What's next? How do we pivot?
Can you tell me what the most important link on your whole site is?
Right. What's that big red button, baby?
What's it
That's
do?
what you used to say back in the day, and I still think it's really important as we think about simplified user experience. So, the people that you're doing business with, super, super important. But the knowledge of product, the knowledge of campaigns, the knowledge of business. I think about financial institutions, right? Sure, any bank can provide commercial loans and a business is going to need it. How do we drive deposits? What are cross-sell opportunities on the private wealth side with existing customers? That's the kind of thinking that you get with our agency.
And I think because we do value those personalized, those relationships, right? Like you get to know all of our clients because we're all people, we interact and talk every day and want to have, those relationships are going to be natural. But beyond that, you want them to do well because you do care about them as people. So like you're wanting to do good work that helps reflect well on them, that helps their business grow. Like you care about the people and the business because they're kind of going together there.
Amen to that. And on the last note here, and by the way, you have some great talking points here. I think we're just kind of hitting a few of the...
Yeah, we just hit a few of them here.
And as you all can tell in my animation and my excitement, I will talk to anybody about this at any time because I love agencies. And by the way, I have wonderful friends that have large, great, independently owned agencies. I have a buddy in Phoenix that has an 85-person shop. They are amazing. I have a buddy in Iowa that has a 120-person shop. Amazing. I love those guys. They're like brothers to me. We're just giving you an angle from a little bit more smaller independent angle. Big impact without the big agency ego. So this is interesting that you wrote this. It's actually your 6th point. I think it's a really important point.
Yeah, this is the concept that you get the same strategic horsepower as the big guys, but with an approachable, collaborative feel. There's no egos.
There's no egos. Actually, I tell everyone to check their egos at the door. Claude has $1 million idea. Claude gets to bring that idea to a client, to the agency.
Yeah, and I think when there's no egos, the collaborative process is a lot more... feels a lot better. It's a lot more natural. A lot better things come from that kind of process than someone who's in the room with an ego.
We have our core values are LFG. Littlefield, team first is L. Freaking go to the edge is F. We'll never push you off the edge, but we'll show you what great creative and great thinking can do. And then the G is gotta adapt or die. And I think about adaptation here. And you're like, oh my God, Sam, adapt or die. That's pretty harsh. Well, here we are 45 years later. If we have not adapted nor have we evolved, we would not be here, right?
Yeah.
And Rocco said something really, really interesting at our leadership offsite a couple of weeks ago. And boy, Rocco's worked at some great agencies. Bernstein Rain, Barkley, some great Kansas and Missouri shops, big shops. And he goes, out of all the agencies that I've ever worked at, he said, we as a 25-person shop are the most ambitious agency. And it really hit me. It actually hit me like a bus. And I was like, yeah, that's us. Roop, look at you. You're the AI director of our agency as of 4 months ago.
Yeah.
Because we have identified that as a huge, important area, not only for us as an agency, but to drive client business. How many AI conversations have you been in with clients over the last 2 months? A lot.
Yeah. And the thing I think about with ambition when we talk, like when he said that, it also, to me, it was like we're not afraid of things. Like we're not afraid to try new things. We're not afraid to think beyond our size, which we do all the time.
Yep.
Things are just problems and they'll get solved. That's kind of how I think at least I think about embracing ambition. Like there's an issue, there's a thing, there's a deal that needs to happen for a client or whatever. It's okay, let's just go do it. We never stop and think, oh, well, you know what? Maybe we need to partner with someone else. It's outside.
Let's go figure this out. Let's make it happen. We're ambitious
in the way that we have good learners here, I think, that can pick things up and move forward.
Yeah, and we, Sammy got on a soapbox on Thursday.
Was that RL10 was on Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And Claude and the rest of the crew will hear this in the coming weeks at our next staff meeting in November, but as I was leaving Clopay last week, these people are so dedicated to their business. They are people that work on the commercial side are thinking about the consumer side. That's how much they care. That's huge. They're not staying in their own lane. They're looking to drive business. there was something so contagious and exciting and just watching them work together and to figure out how do we get from X to Y to the ultimate Z. And I came back on Thursday and I said, guys, we are a great place to work. We're at age 2024 and 2025 best places to work. We take significant pride. We're going for the three-peat. We find out in a couple of weeks and we get to announce that hopefully in 2026. That's huge. And I said, that's amazing and will always be a great place to work. But I said, I want to be the best freaking agency in the Midwest. I don't want to be number 2. I don't want to be a recognized agency. I want to be the best. And I think the spirit in the room was, you know what? It's time for us to take that leap and to go. And this year's been a great learning year for us. It's been slower on the new business front, but that's been okay. It's allowed us to focus. We're very, very, very particular about who we work with. Focus on our great client relationships that we currently have, and take a hard look in the mirror and look forward. And, you know, how many more years until you retire?
It's 18. I mean, I don't know. I'm not good
years.
at math.
You know what? I'm going to retire in 18 years too. You and me both. We'll ride up into the sunset.
Turn the lights off together.
But I look at 18 years from now, and I look at the Kansas City market. You know, 15 years ago, Kansas City wasn't Kansas City. Mm-hmm. It was a nice city, but Barkley and Bernstein Rain and VML, now VML Y&R, good agencies just like us that became global phenoms. Here's the thing: I don't want to go global. I don't like traveling that much. I like traveling leisurely globally. But how can we be the best agency in the Midwest? How do we become the best agency in the United States? And being independently owned and operated with our wonderful people and our wonderful clients will help us get there.
What a statement on ambition right there.
There you go.
There it is.
I'm feeling good. So anyway, so those that are tuning in, you listened to a lot about us today. Next week's episode, you will not really hear much about us except for, you know, housekeeping items on what's going on in the agency. How many beers did Roop have at Oktoberfest?
Oh man, Oktoberfest is going to be a whole.
He's going to get a big stein of beer. But anyway, just a little glimpse of who we are, what we stand for. And at the end of the day, right, we do great work with great humans. We go home and love our families. And if you can look in yourself in the mirror, go down on that elevator from 5 to lobby. You've done a good job, and we'll see you tomorrow. So, Roop, thank you for the script. Claude, thank you for setting up everything. For our listeners, as always, we love hearing from you, and we love engaging with you. Any thoughts, please send them our way, and we will for sure see you next week.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
And that's a wrap. We hope you found a spark of inspiration for your marketing strategy. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us at Littlefield Agency to keep the conversation going. Catch you next time.